But the next speaker is a game changer in so many areas, in education, in business, etc. Right? And what you heard, the answer to our BDO Foundation friend, is that we're getting food packs, right? That is sort of what we do. Brother Armin has put a different angle on that, and he's going to talk about that. But who is Brother Armin? Everybody knows him as Education Secretary. He's also the former president of the Philippine Business for Social Progress, more than 100 corporations. Some people are here, like Ramon de Rosario, etc., etc. And they also want to help. So he's coming here to talk about an approach. It's a game-changing approach. Because so far we got the problem. It's game-changing in the sense that more people have to know about it. But the next three speakers are going to talk about different approaches that will solve the problem better. So it's my pleasure now to introduce to someone who's been in Hungary a long time and has this new approach that is quite exciting. As a matter of fact, in our review of all the speeches, we kind of got excited by his, and we said, kasi professional yan, magaling yan. We know that, but more important than the style and the pizzazz is the content. It's really new. So, Armin, may I turn the floor over to my former school, of which I'm proud. I went to La Salle Ateneo and UP, and I'm proud of La Salle. Okay, go ahead, Brother Armin.
Maraming salamat, Ernie. Thank you, Boy and Nina. At magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I'm hungry to share with you what we may call as a program from hunger to hope. And while the problem has been here for a while, for a long while, and in fact lingers, and while in fact hunger incidence has also increased to critical levels as a result of the pandemic, this is the time not to blame anyone. This is not the time to be desolate. This is a time to harvest best practices among the tried and tested. Time to harvest existing and promising solutions. There has also been multiple initiatives, both by national government, local government, private groups, corporations, foundations, individuals. But hunger still persists. But there are solutions in sight, which came to light, and maybe this is the silver lining, because of the pandemic. I belong to a group that several months back came together and started to discuss the hunger crisis. We don't have a formal name yet. We call it a hunger project. What I have here are just names of those who attended the initial meetings. This is by no means comprehensive, but just to let you know that there is a group that is trying to come together in an inclusive way. There is a committee that focuses on policy. There's a group that wants to focus its attention on technological solutions. I am in charge of coordinating the hunger project in NCR. And Ernie Garilao is doing the non-NCR projects. Let me just speak about the NCR committee and where we are, because it may give us a better sense of how things could move forward nationally. The silver lining in COVID-19 is our discovery that important insights on what could be successful solutions. And maybe there are three. First, the successful solution should not be alien to our culture. Ang tawag natin dyan, dapat nakababad sa diskarteng Pinoy. The second idea is that any successful solution to hunger should be developed and implemented in the grassroots. Ibig sabihin, kailangan tayong magbalik barangay. And thirdly, that while we need to do it locally, kailangan naman there's a coordinated national, if not global coordination, so that there is collective impact. Kumbaga, kailangan mayroon tayong kumpas bayanihan. In our model, our hunger to hope model is not new, but it leverages on existing initiatives. And many of you who are here know of one or two initiatives that could be conjoined to this model. It selects pilot testing those that have the best chances of being replicable. While there are many initiatives, not all of them are replicable in other areas. So what the group wants is to identify those that could be pilot tested because they are replicable. And finally, if we were to do this nationwide, we will support and implement on a bigger scale those that promises to be sustainable. So the key things for us are really existing, replicable, and sustainable initiatives. Hunger to Hope, as you can see in this model, is grounded on inclusive partnerships. Ika nga ni Boy, talagang walang iwanan. Walang maiiwan kung lahat magtutulungan. Yan ang diwa ng tunay na bayanihan. From our end, universities and school communities could contribute policy formulation and action research. Business sector can promote micro and small economic initiatives and should not compete with those small sari-sari store, karinderya, talipapa. CSOs should ramp up community projects, but this time working together, hindi na nagkakanya-kanya, to achieve collective impact. Churches should engage in sustainable welfare and charitable services that are empowering and move away from simple dole-outs. LGUs should work in partnership with all other groups based on evidence and without politicizing the interventions. Sana ganyan, ito yung pangarap ng Project Hunger. And if we were able to push for this, this may be our only way to truly end hunger in the Philippines. If we work together, we have every chance to be successful this time around. Our partnership model should be replicable and transferable. And just as an example, while the problem may look overwhelming, if you look at figures nationwide, we can make small steps and begin with biteable pieces. For example, our coordinating group was recently formed as a coalition in NCR. A dozen universities located along Taft Avenue, that's the South Manila Educational Consortium, has been challenged by Bishop Pabilio of the Archdiocese of Manila to respond with programs for families experiencing severe or moderate hunger. The Archdiocese covers these 5 cities in NCR. Hunger to Hope is looking at a model that really starts with fresh supplies from farmers, and we must add fisher folk. Hopefully, we will be able to buy those from them at a fair price, not the usual price that is controlled by traders. We are looking at parishes and schools as temporary hubs where those fresh supplies can be made available in the city. And if this can be distributed to the micro and small enterprises, talipapas and carinderias in the barangays, so that they can supply the food as well as the fresh and nutritious supply to the tables of the communities. In our model, it's not all dole out. The farmers, with some support from an initial fund, should be able to supply their own products at a fair price to those hubs and distributed, hopefully with the help of jeepney drivers and tricycle drivers who may have lost their jobs, to talipapas, carinderias, sari-sari stores. We're looking at the possibility of some of those high value crops to go to the tables of villages via a grab type or pre-ordered supplies, and hopefully this could make a little money so that there's income for the coalition, eventually supplying both the tables of the rich, who can also share part of that with the tables of the poor. In this model, which is meant to be inclusive and collaborative, our talipapa owners will be challenged to also share a little bit of their profit for charity for those who are in their barangays. The carinderias will be challenged to also share 5-10 meals for the very, very hungry also in their barangays. As the rich will also be challenged to share part of what they have for the table of the poor. In this way, we thought that we will be able to bring fresh vegetables and agricultural supplies to the cities, providing our farmers and fisher folk with some respectable income so that they will not be hungry themselves, hoping that everyone will be a participant so that there will be collective impact. In our model, at the end of the day, hope springs from providing solutions to persistent problems by reimagining that the world can be different. Victims of poverty, such as those who manage the talipapa, sari-sari store, and the carinderias, are not just victims, but can actually be participants in our model. We want them to be participants, not just beneficiaries. Hope springs from the courage to restart our world and recreate a compassionate economy, one that includes everyone and excludes no one. Pati yung tricycle driver at saka jeepney driver na nawalan, kailangan dali natin dito. Hopefully, this will also restart the local economy. Ito talaga ang walang iwanan. Finally, hope springs from the fact and the belief that no one is so poor as we have nothing to give. No one is so rich as they have nothing to receive. And in this model, we're hoping that all of you who are listening will be able to look back at our existing model and let us know if you want to participate in the supply side, in the transportation side, in the feeding side, or in the micro lending segment. And if we all work together, I think each one of us will have a niche here. We don't have to be engaged in all the processes, but every one of us can have a contribution. Maraming salamat po. There is hope even in the midst of hunger. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, thank you, Brother Luistro. We have one question from the Facebook. This is from Carrie Tharan. To what extent have we mobilized the private sector to address our hunger problem? For example, the supermarkets and restaurants. In the United Kingdom supermarkets, there is a food bank where shoppers can donate extra buys to the needy. So that's the question.
Well, most of the big business corporations, the malls and the groceries are part of the big coalition. So they are actually part of the, especially in the NCR. But as we have already recognized during calamities, for example, we worked in partnership with BDO Foundation, and we distributed a lot of supplies, family relief packs, using Save More, because they have pre-positioned bags, family bags, all the way to the provinces. So there is a logistics committee that actually looks at both the transportation and the systems that are already in place. So we don't want to create new interventions. Whatever is existing, we just need to ramp it up. But the most critical is information. Which truck is going to Cagayan tomorrow? And that's really, when you come down to it, the relevant information given to us, hopefully in real time, is the most critical for this, because you can save a lot if you're able to do that. So our invitation is, if you know of anyone, but don't point at others. Start with ourselves. Don't say that group can help. Our appeal is, if you can help, even if you can help just one family, contact us and we will assign you one group or one family to help, so that everyone cannot just come up with nice ideas. We want you to participate, and as we come together, it will be so much easier to work on the big problem together.
Okay, Mr. Lito Pardo has a comment. So would you want to give out or voice out your comment, Mr. Pardo? Please unmute. And we also have Gabriel Maria Lopez, who has a comment about what they do in Ateneo. So maybe we can have those two comments before we go to our next speaker. Or maybe I can just read out. Yes, it says here from Mr. Lito Pardo, traders will have to find a new...
Tessa, excuse me, he's there now. Okay, please speak. You're on the air. You're on the site and you're on the air. Can you please speak? This is Gabby Lopez. Gabby Lopez is on the screen right now. Gabby, can you speak, please?
Okay. Basically, we responded to the request of Father Ben Ebres, who's been working with Kawat Kalinga, and I think Brother Armin, to raise money for children who are malnourished. And I think Ateneo Center for Educational Development has a program to buy from farmers already identified. And these fresh food are delivered to Ateneo every week, and then they're distributed to the beneficiaries around Metro Manila. We selected muna 2 elementary schools in San Mateo. Today we just delivered, and this has been going on for 3 weeks now. Salamat po.
Salamat, Gabi. The Ateneo and the Jesuits, Tanging Yaman, is part of the coalition. In fact,
Yes.
The model of buying from the farmers directly comes from them. They, in fact, used to buy, they are buying rice as an example. The farmers in Tarlac were selling their rice at 8 pesos per kilo to traders. The Jesuits bought those at 20 pesos per kilo to make sure that they get the fair price. They're selling it at around 37, 38, and that's even lower than the prices in the supermarket. So it's really a win-win situation, and we could actually work with each other. Our major partner in the Archdiocese of Manila, obviously, is Caritas Manila. But all of these players are part of the model, and they're really in the coalition.
Bravo.
Yeah, that's a wonderful model.